Okay. The last thing I'm going to do before I start talking about fun stuff, I know what you're going to say. It's all been fun. Stop. Is give you an introduction to the course webpage. Yeah, I want to leave Desmos. Leave me alone. Okay, so if you type in the words appliedlinearalgebra.com, that is my website. I pay $180 per year to host it, and the Republican Congress makes sure that I can't write that off on my taxes, because you wouldn't want teachers robbing the US government, right? That's for multinational corporations. Sorry, maybe too fast for this group. You don't know me yet. Could you imagine which one we're going to do? 4 students or 4 teachers? 4 students. And then, could you imagine which one we're going to click on? I had a student at the end of last quarter, the last week, said, "Whoa, we have a website for this class?" And I went to the president of the college and said, "You should fire me," because I let that student get through the whole quarter without knowing that. Could you guess which syllabus is ours? Okay, so let's click on it. Can you guess how many pages our syllabus is? That's right. Yep. Learning is hard. Welcome to a class that focuses on actual learning. This is it's a non-trivial problem. I want to call some attention. So the other thing that I wanted to show you was the tentative calendar. That's available for you. If I can, I'm going to actually stay on this thing and I'll talk for 15 minutes, which is 5 minutes over my budget. That's okay. Okay, so then the other question you might have is, well, what other resources are there online? And then I'll go like this. It's a lot. One thing I want to show you is the study skills activity page. So a lot of what you're seeing here actually came from students. At one point I used to host this all on etudes, so the equivalent of Canvas. And I had students say, "That's stupid, you should make your own website." And then I said, "You're right." And I shoveled out $180 and I made my own website. And then another quarter somebody said, "Hey, you should post all your study skills homework online." And I said, "You're right." There they are. All my study skills homework. And a new one, Study Skills Homework 8, is brand new as of the last week of last quarter. So you can these are all available for you online. Please print them out. Read them carefully. These take me about minimum of 15 hours each to draft. They'll take you about an hour to work through. That's an order of magnitude savings. Okay. And then you might wonder, well, what else is available for me? I'm currently working on drafting a textbook. There's not a mathematical, applied linear algebra textbook that exists on Earth that is my favorite one. Well, for students. For researchers, I have too many, like my favorite movie or something like that. I give this textbook a solid B+. That's pretty good because the next closest one is a C-, and it gets a C- out of pity. This book is from Oliver and Shakibon. They're a husband and wife team. Peter Oliver is a famous scholar that works in this field. Shakibon is I would also say well known. I know her at least. This book is the formal textbook associated with this class. It will fill in many gaps that I don't have in my notes. So I encourage you to buy this. I think last night I checked on Amazon and there were 51 used copies, the cheapest of which was I think $3. I have slept with this book under my pillow. If I could, I would bring it to bed every night, but my wife says no. And that's a B+. Yeah, Mike.
You can also look for used books at abebooks.com.
A-Books? I don't know that, but I trust that man.
You should.
Yeah, A-B, 2 B's or 1?
E.
Oh.
A, as in Lincoln.
Oh, great.
Books.com.
All right, awesome. Mike McCusker, maybe at the start of after break, maybe a 5-minute introduction?
For you.
What's that?
2 minutes for you, I'll talk fast.
Okay, so that is to fill in the resources, but my primary documents are going to be the notes that I scribe myself. Every single thing that you see Jeff's notes are stuff that I've written on my free time. I provide for these to you free of charge. I also have quizzes that I'll post online, so you can get blank copies here. And then answers, partial answers here. It's all written by yours truly. When I do my lecture notes, they're going to be based on the material in the notes that I've written. So if you want access to those, all you need to do is just go on the website and find that. Some of my students wonder, hey Jeff, you lecture a lot in class. What should I care about for the exams? And I had a student once say, hey, instead of making me figure this out, you should just tell me exactly what you expect. And I said, whoa, that's a really good idea. I don't know how many pages this is, 6. At the end of every lesson, I put check marks by them because I'm the type of guy, this morning when I woke up, you know what the first thing I did? Got a piece of paper, put a check box and said, wake up. And then I was like, I like checking stuff off, right? So you could actually test yourself at the end of every lesson after you've done the lectures, rewritten the notes, tested yourself. These are the fundamental content-specific learning outcomes that I expect every student in this class to understand. If I were in this class and I were going through lectures, I would actually read these before I showed up to lecture, and then I would pay special attention to the content that I said out loud to make sure that I got some answers. And then we'll talk about the lecture rewrite system. I'm going to be talking at about 120 words a minute. Some people say 200 words a minute if Anderson's really juiced up on coffee. You know how fast an average person writes? I think I can write about 15 to 20 words a minute nicely, personally. Okay, so think about that for a minute. Lectures are horrible for learning. This is my opinion that is based on research in cognitive science. I'm going to allow myself this evil with the knowledge that very, very soon I will no longer have to sin like this. Please note, though, that I fully expect that after you finish this class, you are going to rewrite the entire set of lecture notes for each in-class meeting in a very systemic fashion, putting together all the pieces that you missed in class. I have a whole study skills homework assignment on that. It's called Study Skills Homework 3. And I have a lot of reasons why I do that, and we'll talk more about that in class. Some of you might have your own learning systems where you don't have to do that because you have other ways to do that. As long as you're making sure that you understand everything that we've talked about, I'm happy.